Just another day documenting my journey as a founder, building an 8 figure business. As per usual, we got a banger sunset here in Coolangatta, Gold Coast. And today was a really good day in terms of inputs. I managed to get back into my own YouTube channel so we can essentially start putting back resources into building my personal brand for the business as well. So that was good. I smashed 3 podcast episodes. We started also testing fully scripted episodes, which is not something that I've really ever done for myself. The max I've done is having bullet points and like a scripted hook. This time we tested scripting an entire episode, and it wasn't even done by me. It was done by one of my team members, and there was a couple realizations with it. The first one is that even though it was fully scripted, it was still pretty exhausting. So it's not like it kind of gets easier energy wise almost, which that was weird because in my mind I was like, oh, if I just go for a 30, and I'm talking like a 20 to 30 minute video, and it was still almost the same level of energy as if I was just free flowing. The one thing though is that when you free flow, you obviously can get stuck or something, you might lose your train of thought or something like that. So that can get frustrating if you hit a wall. If you just, for some reason, you kind of lose your mojo, if I may say. So that didn't happen, of course, because everything was scripted. And the other realization with it was that it was done by one of my team members, and I didn't really check it. Like, we just went for it, and I told her, like, hey, if I see anything that doesn't make sense or anything like that, we would just stop and fix it on the spot. And there was just a couple of adjustments that I had to do to it, but it was pretty much good, ready to go, which was pretty crazy because it was all done with this new AI system that we've been building. So it just showed me how incredible it can be, the outputs, when we provide enough context and information to it to produce a great outcome. So, and obviously and keep in mind too, this team member knows me very well, so she knows kind of how I speak and how I would say something, and some of the examples of case studies with clients or stories that we can share within the content, and obviously very familiar with the content overall. So that obviously is huge too, having someone that is helping you script the content but that knows you very well and your offer and your business and you personally. So that was pretty awesome. I was very stoked with the team member doing all this scripting and just showing up and being in front of camera, really doing my thing. We smashed 3 podcast episodes plus scripted reels as well. And I, on top of that, did 5 organic reels off the cuff after that, of random little subjects that took place throughout the day. So that was pretty good. Even we got some schedule already, so my Instagram will be posting already tonight, tomorrow, and even some stuff already for the weekend, on top of all the stuff that my team will be creating already from the content that we recorded now, which is pretty cool because we are aiming basically for getting my personal brand to 100,000 followers across all platforms. And right now, as I make this video, is about 30, what was it? No, 20. Can't believe I lost my. So it's 20 something on Instagram. So 24,800 something right now on Instagram. And when we add everything across all the other platforms, is 32 something thousand. And that's also with a YouTube channel that has 0 subscribers, because we're starting this channel completely from scratch, because that previous channel was built on a Spanish speaking audience. So that's the biggest challenge, is growing this YouTube completely from scratch, and we're going to see how big we can take it. And my Instagram, kind of similar to the old YouTube video, there's still a fair amount of people there that they were built from a Spanish speaking audience, so we still need to essentially refresh completely that audience. We've been doing that for a while now. I've been making English content for fucking well over a year. It's been probably at least 2.5 to 3 years roughly. Nothing super consistent because we're just focused on our clients and the business. But yeah, now we're going very hard and taking it very seriously this year so we can hit that goal. Uh, I'll explain probably the reasons behind that goal later. But what I wanted to actually share today was that we had one of our clients that he's still kind of very new to social media and everything what's happening. Like, he's been learning everything with us, and we took his accounts completely from zero, non-existent, nada, to adding now thousands of followers and millions of views that we have generated for him, which is pretty awesome. And keep in mind, being fully transparent, this client, he's an expert at what he does, but he fucking sucks at being in front of camera and talking to camera. So it has been a bit of a journey, to say the least, to get him to obviously know how to speak in front of camera, how to articulate himself, providing him feedback, and so on. And that's obviously my team, the one that has been reporting all of this, because I don't do the shoots. But essentially, we started as well one of his Facebook pages completely from zero, and that we started just a couple months ago because it turns out he lost access to the previous one and whatever. And in just a few pieces of content and just over a month, we got him from zero to over 1,000 followers on that Facebook page, which is massive because he was complaining and concerned, saying like, "Oh, guys, this page doesn't have any followers. Is what are people gonna say? Are they gonna take our business seriously?" So it was a bit of a concern for him that he wanted to build it as quickly as possible, to say the least. And then he got a comment from one of his sons saying, "Oh, Dad, your page has no followers. That sucks," and whatnot. So he kind of got in his mind even more, just saying like, "Oh, we need to get some followers and whatnot." And one of our team members scripted some absolutely banging reels for him, and they just started going viral. And on top of that, we got, funny enough, one of our other podcast partners to be as a guest on his podcast, just because it makes sense for the strategy. And one of our editors clipped a really good fucking moment from the podcast, and that clip started to go viral on a couple different platforms. And it was all done intentionally because we knew, hey, there's a very high likelihood that this piece of content will go viral because it's very controversial. And that's what happened. It got over 100,000 views on just one platform, on Facebook alone. And he started to get some hate on that platform. And this is where the lesson is. Because he essentially got what he wanted. He wanted followers, he wanted results, he wanted to grow. But then when he got that, when he started to get virality, get rich, get in front of his dream customers, and started to get followers, amongst all of that, he got a little bit of hate, a little bit of noise from keyboard warriors. And even though, and this is how funny human behavior and psychology and just the human mind in general is, because he got an overwhelming amount of attention and support. But even then, it didn't matter that 99% of the people had a positive reaction to the reel, that he got hundreds of followers from that particular piece of content, because he had about 10 people that were hating, not even on him, they were hating on the other person that was in the reel with him, because they just don't agree with that particular topic. And that was enough for him to basically comment when we went to Slack, which is what we use to communicate with our podcast partners and licensees, and we just shared. Normally, we bring updates as to, hey, this is what works, what's working, this is what happened. Here are some of the views that we generated. Hey, wins here, and we share the wins. So hey, we got you to over 1,000 followers, the page that you wanted, and viral reels and all this stuff. And his response was, I've been lit on fire here. And we were like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then one of our team members went to check the comments, and turned out that there were about 10 people that didn't agree or had an opposing view or complain or whatnot. And it was hilarious because they were like, well, yeah, clearly he's still super new at being in front of camera and being online and being in social media. This is still a new territory for him, where he's not used to having people that have opposed views or are giving him some shit or a little bit of hate. So that was pretty funny, because to us, like, we're used to it. We have gone through it so many times with different clients, where they essentially, yeah, get uncomfortable because they're getting hate. Nobody likes hate. It makes you, it gives you a little bit of an itch depending on how much you're getting, and you feel this almost need to respond or defend yourself. And then, yeah, we just thought this is hilarious, because he's completely ignoring the results that we are getting, because he got a little bit of hate, and that's taking now all the attention. But it didn't matter that that was just 10 people out of the hundreds of thousands of people that actually like the thing, watch the thing, engage with the thing, follow him, and so on, which is just hilarious, to say the least. So our team member had to make a whole video basically breaking down for him why this was good. Like, hey, yeah, even though you got some hate, and we can see it clearly here, you will need to get accustomed to some people not liking what you have to say, having an opposing view, or wanting to debate you, or just saying some mean stuff online. It's just a part of the game of being online, growing a personal brand. And ultimately, what you have to do and be okay with if you are trying to grow your business using content. So she made a detailed video breaking down, and this is a good lesson as well. If you start to go viral, if you start to getting some negative reactions, if you start to get people that don't agree with you and whatever, just pay attention to the data. Go look at the data. Don't just look at the comments. Go look at the overall data. How many people actually, in relation to the amount of followers that you're getting, to the engagement that you're getting, to the likes that you're getting, are positive compared to those negatives. Because what happened is we pay too much fucking attention to the little loud hate meaningful comments, instead of paying attention to the overwhelming positivity in most cases. That's what takes place, because that's how our brains are wired, to pay attention to the judging and the mean stuff. So in most cases, what we have found is that you are giving too much attention to the bad stuff, and there is a more overwhelming amount of positive things to say from other people. And ultimately, the results are well worth it. The little negative comments that you get, based on the data, in terms of engagement, likes, followers, DMs, shares, and customers that you can get as a result of going viral with those pieces of content. So that's the lesson for today. Always look at the data. And also, when you hire professionals, instead of trying to micromanage or get on your own way, just shut up. You. Oh, I don't. Sorry. Yeah, you too. D. Nelson Ferreira. Great. Got some supporters. But yeah, so always pay attention to the data. And when you hire experts, just fucking listen, man. Just get out of your own way. Let the experts do the work and get you the results that you are paying for.